You want to make an olive bread that's really easy and comes out amazing? Today on Garden Fork, no knead olive bread. Here we go. So this is based on Jim Leahy's no knead bread recipe, which we've done a bunch of videos about, a couple of them really popular on YouTube. The links to those are below in the show notes. But to start out with, I like to do a 30-70 mix of all-purpose white flour with an all-purpose whole wheat flour. It just gives it a little more of a nutty flavor. I just like whole wheat flour, so I put it in. The rise isn't as big, but it's homemade bread, so it works. This, and to mix it up to make our olive loaf, olive bread, is black olives. I like, oops, the dogs will get that. Oil-cured black olives, which are hard to find in a jar. So go to the deli, go to your corner deli. They probably have what are called oil-cured olives. Pitted is ideal. Not pitted, you'll have to pit them yourselves. Be careful, chop these up and make sure even if they are pitted, you will find some pits in them occasionally, and that will crack someone's tooth. Learn from me. Less is more when it comes to oil-cured olives. They have quite a bit of salt in them. So I use a cup of olives chopped up. Get yourself a bowl. We want 2 cups of all-purpose flour in there. You can also use bread flour, it's up to you. Then 1 cup of whole wheat flour in there. And then a scant 1/4 cup, well, I use a heaping 1/4 teaspoon of this is activated or active yeast. Use a whisk or a fork to mix together. You want the yeast to be mixed well into the 2 different flours. Then I add in my olives. My idea in adding the olives to the dry ingredients is they get coated with a little bit of flour and they might not all sink to the bottom of the dough then when it's baking. And this has proved right to me, at least. 1.5 cups of water. I like to add warm water. I think it speeds up the process a little bit. And this is the part where you just have to pay attention a little bit. You want this dough to look what's called shaggy. You don't want it super wet. You don't want it super dry. I'll show you what shaggy means as soon as it comes together here and becomes shaggy. You're going to think, oh, this is too dry. You'd be surprised, because this is going to sit 12 to 18 hours, how wet it will become. All right, that's a little dry for me, so I'm going to add a little bit more water. That's maybe a tablespoon of water. This might be a little too much water now. There's a fine line, but you know, it's Garden Fork. Done is better than perfect. That's what we say. So that's a little wet for my taste, but that's what we're going to go with. Plastic wrap. So this mixture that you've just put together is going to sit in a warm place for 12 to 18 hours ideally. What I do is I put it in my oven and I turn the oven light on, and that seems to be kind of the perfect environment for keeping this warm and it rising nicely. Our house is a little cold in the winter. It's an old house, drafty. But in the oven with the oven light on, this works really well. This goes in the oven, close the door. Overnight is perfect. That's what I do. I start it at night. Next morning, start to work on it. Ready? It's out there, hen. Go get it. The stick's out there. So this has been rising for 12 to 18 hours. This is almost 18 hours. Nice. See how it's starting to pull away there? That's what you want to see. That's good. That means the yeast is working. See all those strands?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So we're just going to do a couple of quick turns on this. I'm just turning it and kind of pinching it under itself. And then we'll put it on a piece of parchment paper. What works really well for me is I keep the oven light on, and that makes this like a proofing chamber. It's perfect. So this goes back in for about 2 hours, and then we're gonna bake it, okay?
It's just gonna sit there for 2 hours?
Well, it's gonna rise again. It's the second rise.
Oh.
So last night, we put that in and let it rise overnight with the oven light on. And now we just did a quick turn of it, put it in the parchment paper, let it rise again.
With the oven light on. All right. See you in 2 hours. Did you forget something?
Just cover this with a towel.
What's that do?
It keeps the moisture in. At the 1.5 hour mark, we're going to take this rising dough out of here. Looks very nice. And I'm just going to throw that on top. And we're going to preheat our Dutch oven. Take the lid off. I found putting the Dutch oven in the upper part of the oven is better. The bottom doesn't burn. That's just what I figured out. Then you're going to fire up your ancient stove that came out of a 1950s trailer. Propane. All right, it's lit.
Camper trailer.
500 degrees. Preheat for half an hour. This continues to rise, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Not 500, 450, okay? All right, half hour. That's hot. And that's hot. This goes in like that. Lid goes on. It's okay if the parchment sticks out a little bit, okay? In the oven. Now, it depends on your oven. 30 to 40 minutes closed, and then we're going to take the lid off to brown it. The key thing is when it's done, the internal temperature will be about 200 degrees. So digital thermometer is a must. All right, after your half hour to 40 minutes, take this off. Oh, that looks nice. Back in. 15 minutes. Here we go. These are great gloves, by the way. A Garden Fork viewer sent me them. Thank you very much, sir. He knows who he is. And if you're interested in them, I'll link in the show notes below. They work really well. I don't burn myself nearly as much anymore. All right, 15 minutes uncovered, digital thermometer. I always pull this out and rest it here. You do what you want. And this goes in there.
Wow. Can you see it? Oh yeah, we can see. Oh no, we can see it before you moved.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It's still creeping.
202, 23. That's good. So when this is done, you just grab the parchment paper like this. You can basically lift it up and then let it cool off.
It smells so good.
That's really good. Well, why does it always work on the other shows? Here we go.